In the words of Raj Bennett, pray for Guzan.
Yeah. Welcome to amorephillyunion, where the countdown to episode 100 has begun. We are your hosts. I'm E.
I'm C.
And I'm Paul.
And not to put too much pressure on us with that lead in.
And by countdown, you mean it's our next episode.
It's our next episode, but
Welcome to episode 99.
99.
99.
Yeah. I originally wrote where we don't look a day over 99, but
Nice.
Well, here's a question, and I don't know the answer. Has there ever been a Union player that has used the number 99?
ooh.
Ooh.
All right, well, we'll have to keep going, and one of us in the background will look that up. I think
Yeah.
the answer is no. But
I think the answer is no. But all right, well, let's get to what I now refer to as first things. First things first. Gooey butter cake. A little ASMR as I'm biting into a piece of gooey butter cake
That better
That
not
is-
be the last piece, sir.
that still survives. I did not think this bit through.
Did you happen to bring some milk? All I can think of is that old Aaron Burr commercial. Aaron Burr!
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that for again? It was like a trivia thing. The guy had to call in. He was
Yeah.
eating a peanut butter sandwich. I
Yeah.
was like, "Who shot Hamilton?" And he's like, "Aaron Burr."
Yeah.
I can't actually remember what the commercial was for.
Mm.
We'll have to
Anyway.
look it up on YouTube and put a link to it on our socials. Otherwise, people are going to have no clue what we're talking about.
And if you do know what we're talking about,
Thank you.
yeah, we're not alone. But yeah, and again, just an extra shout out, thanks to our cousins, Mel and Jim, for being good sports in the St. Louis Union game, coming on and talking about it, and then coming through as promised with the yummy gooey butter cake, and with a cup of coffee, it's hard to beat. So one more
Got
bite
milk.
for me.
It was a Got Milk commercial
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
from 1993. Oh God,
Yeah, so there we go.
What?
Cards on the table.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay directed it?
Uh-huh.
Surprised there weren't any explosions.
Seriously. But it is still available on YouTube, so I'll have to set it up. And yeah, I'm still jealous. I haven't had a chance to try this gooey butter cake, but
We'll make sure you get taken care of.
uh-huh. I did look up a recipe for it from America's Test Kitchen.
Ooh, I
Now,
bet that's
theirs is a yeasted version, whereas I think Mel has a more streamlined version of it.
well, it's delicious. If you here's another dating thing. I'm like quoting Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But if you can get your hands on one, they're so choice.
So for anyone who doesn't know what in the world we're talking about, we didn't explain this, right?
What, the gooey butter cake?
Yeah.
I thought we did talk about gooey butter cake when they were on the episode.
When they were on the episode, right?
Oh, sure.
But-
Okay, yeah.
So just to bring it back around, we had a bet with our cousins in St. Louis as to who would win the game. If we had lost, we would have sent them a Philly care package. I believe it was going to involve soft pretzels at least. But we didn't lose, so we got St. Louis gooey butter cake. Homemade by Mel. I don't know, maybe Jim was in there too. It seemed
I'm
like
sure
it was
Jim
by
was in
Mel. But he probably had to have his own because apparently it's hard to avoid. Yeah, so that arrived just in time for our Easter dessert, basically.
Very nice.
Thanks, Mel, and thanks, Jim, again for being such good sports.
And sharing the goodness. My goodness.
Yeah. And in other love out there in the Union verse, we wanna give a extra special congratulations to Gabe over at We the Union. I guess that came out in social posts just a few days ago, right?
Yeah, that he is preparing for a wedding of his own. So it was an
Not
odd way
just
to
some
word it,
random
wasn't it?
person's wedding,
That was
though.
a really strange way to word it. So congrats, um, uh, Gabe,
Yeah.
for on your upcoming nuptials, and
Hmm.
sorry for totally making that very difficult to say.
We hope whoever you are spending your life with is ready to adopt the Philadelphia Union fandom as
Yeah,
well.
right.
Yeah,
It's a
seems like a
package deal.
requirement.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Turning our attention back home here, so we got some milestones for us. We passed the 5,000 downloads, so
Thank
that's all
you.
fun.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you so much. And with that, this is episode 99. So episode 100 will be, everything going to the weekly plan. It will be next week. Um, I don't know. We might try to do a little something special for it. We'll keep you guys in the loop. But thanks everyone for coming along with us on this ride. It's been a lot of fun. And here's another 5,000 more downloads and
Hundreds of more
hundreds of
episodes.
more episodes. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Oh, Christy's face was there. She's like, I'm not sure about those hundreds of more episodes.
I was still trying to find the player with 99 on jersey, but apparently there isn't one.
No, I don't think there
I
was.
don't think there was one.
So, any other first things, or should we get into the game?
I say we hop into the game.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
It was a fun. It was an exciting one.
Yeah.
Um, Saturday.
First game that it actually felt like proper, comfortable soccer weather. It was warm, but not too warm. Nice little breeze going. I was actually able to make
Yep.
it to this game, which was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So Nate, my son Nate and I were at the game, and yeah, did not disappoint from the start to the finish. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Jump into lineups or
Let's start with
spoil the
lineups.
result.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I think we usually
I-
spoil the results.
We
right?
yeah,
do. We
Yeah.
don't
we won
ever keep it
3-0.
special.
Come on now.
3-0. Yeah, right. It's we earned this win. Let's just get right to it. We won 3-0. Yeah, and what an exciting game. But yeah, let's start with those lineups. And
Blake's in net, which
that
is
was
great.
that was very good to see.
Now, a bit of a shakeup on the back line. Westfield got another start. As far as I know, that I feel like that means that he's probably got a fuller contract now with the first team, because I believe this was his 7th game for the season, or 7th appearance for the first team of the season. So I don't know if there was a contract announcement that I somehow or another missed. Then Glesnes was once again on the back line, this time with Harriel.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, that was surprising because Makanya was still available. Yes, Glavinovic was unavailable because of red card,
Mhm.
but Harriel got to start at center defense and Wagner out on the left side. And Carnell did say that was a tactical positioning, a tactical choice to put Harriel there because they wanted him to counter some of the speed that the Atlanta forwards had. So,
Mhm.
three significantly experienced players back there, plus Westfield, who has done very, very solid job, if not a good job all season for the Union. Definitely made you feel good. And then Danley, Jean-Jacques, and Jovan Lukic in front of them. So felt confident in the Union defense with Blake and net and all the other supporters. Indiana Vasilev got the start alongside Quinn in the attacking midfield. And the other big shakeup was up top, and that Baribo did not start this
Yeah.
week.
I was surprised by that.
First time since last May.
Yeah.
But he did not start.
And what did Carnell during the press conference? Somebody asked him about that, and I can't remember what his question, how he answered the question.
Well, he said that they wanted to stretch them vertically in ways that Ty didn't really suit Ty's skill set. So they started Damiani and Ora, and they wanted to use Ty as a second half sub to run at the hopefully tired Atlanta backline.
Yeah.
And so Ty did show up in the game. He was subbed on in the second half. it wasn't quite the situation that Carnell was hoping for because of things that we'll get into, but it was still an opportunity for Ty to get a second half a shorter shift in this game.
Yep.
Just briefly, while we have a pause, I do think that when Frankie Westfield was signed in February, it was a proper contract. The press release says the Philadelphia Union have signed homegrown defender Frankie Westfield to a 4-year guaranteed contract through 2028.
Okay.
So I think that's there's no asterisks on it or anything else saying, they talk about the fact that he was with Philadelphia Union too, but I think that was a main team signing.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
If they were looking ahead like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
question
not
answered.
to keep the momentum going, shall we jump right back in?
Yeah. When the game started from our end, it looked very, it looked kind of more one-sided. It felt like the Union were just really pressing down the field. It's the whole, joke about the cameraman doesn't have to turn the camera, just leave it parked on Atlanta's side of the field and you can go take a coffee break. At least that's what the first 15, 20 minutes felt like.
No, I would agree with that. The Union were definitely on the front foot. They looked comfortable out there. Just as they were putting good pressure. They were moving the ball well. Looked like they were going to break who's got the possession stats that they normally have. That did not end up happening in this game. They definitely were outpossessed by Atlanta in this game overall. But I would agree that the game definitely seemed to be tilted into Atlanta's half, and the Union were looking dangerous from the get-go.
Yeah. My notes here are that Oro was definitely working hard in this game. Running at the defense, trying to position a couple shots, trying to get some shots off. As I had a note down there, but he could not buy a goal to save his life in this game.
No. No.
Yeah.
I actually have poor kid written next to his name at one point.
Yeah.
Which we haven't quite gotten to yet, so I won't get into it. But
I just hope that when he starts scoring, he just keeps scoring.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, one of his shots just, he kind of went to the right inside the 18.
Cut it back onto his left foot,
and then just on that top left crossbar. It's like, oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, I think that was the one that I had that written about. It's just, he feels like the wrong way kid sometimes. It's just like.
But so good pressure from the Union. Just repeated attacks, and a ball bounced to the right person, and we got the first goal in the 27th minute from Quinn Sullivan with just a beautiful chest, to a volley. Takes it off the chest. The Atlanta player tries to head it out and clear across from Wagner. He heads it down. Sullivan's all alone about 15 yards from goal. Chests it down, and before it hits the ground, he just hits it with a laser of a shot to the far side netting and buries it for the Union's first goal of the game.
Yeah. I mean, Guzan just watched it go into the corner. It was there was nothing he could do.
There were so many touches by so many people before it ever got to Quinn, and that I was just like, I
was trying to, on the replay, I was trying to count how many, what do you call them, baubles? It just kept bouncing around. It's like, do all these people could count it as an assist then?
Yeah.
It was like Keystone Cops trying to get the ball.
Thank you for making that reference this week. Because it's usually me.
On your bingo cards, make sure.
Yeah. But it just, it was quite a shot. Good for Quinn, his first goal of the season.
Yeah, that's
Lots
right.
of assists, first goal of the season.
The one thing, I looked at the stats, and so right before the ball kind of fell to Sullivan, it kind of went out to the left wing. Wagner was out there to get it. He ran it down the side, crossed it in. It did bounce off a defender.
Correct.
Which kind of breaks the assist chain.
Correct.
Because Kai did not get the assist, even though after the defender, it went to Sullivan, who put it in.
Correct.
So I was super happy with the goal and all that. I was like, it's too bad Kai didn't get the the assist credit for it, but I'm sure he's totally fine with us getting the goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then kind of moving forward here in the game,
It was going to get bad for Atlanta because they had to make a couple of first half subs in
yeah,
this
that's
game.
right.
Both of them on the defensive side of the game. One on a center defender and one for a midfielder. And from the box score, it looks like I thought they were further apart than this, but this one from Philly Soccer Page has them happening in the 31st and 34th minutes.
Yeah, yep.
That the players from Atlanta just went down on the field. It's especially scary, as we've talked about, when it happens that it's a non-contact sort of a situation.
Yeah.
Where it's not a bang bang kind of a play where somebody's knee goes into somebody's leg or something like that when a player's just running and falls down. That always makes you a little worried. But yeah, Stan Gregerson and Tristan Muyamba were both subbed off. Gregerson in the 31st and Muyamba in the 34th. And I'm sure that was not Atlanta's game plan going into this.
Yeah, it's always sad to see, right? Players come out injured. We don't want that.
Usually.
Yeah. Well, in some respects, this was a little like foreshadowing. So, or maybe not foreshadowing, but it was kind of preparing for the second half because while Atlanta has to sub out two of their starters early in the game, right before we go to halftime, Lukic gets a yellow card.
Right.
Which I don't remember the foul exactly. I don't remember this foul exactly.
No, I mean, we didn't Zapruder this foul in the same way as what you're foreshadowing. But that said, he got a card.
So starting the second half, then the second goal, and maybe one of the bigger. Well, all three of these goals were great goals, but this one in particular was special because Jean-Jacques scored this. This goal. And so his first MLS goal, first Union goal. And this goal was sublime. All right, run a play. Everyone's running towards Atlanta's end of the field. And it was, I believe,
a quick transition. He kind of played a 1-2 with Aura.
Yep.
He somehow managed to stay onside as Aura made the pass back to him.
Yeah. And then, the shot on goal was smooth, low, and as Christy, when it happened, and Christy pointed out, it's like, do we just nutmeg Guzan again?
Yep.
It's becoming a proud Union tradition that when we score against Brad Guzan and
3.
Atlanta, it's gonna be a 5-hole nutmeg kind of a goal.
In the words of Raj Bennett, pray for Guzan.
Yeah.
Because I believe the first two were both Aronson's. Aronson the first.
The elder.
The elder. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Cue the lute music.
But I couldn't believe it. Again, how? That's so unusual. But there it was.
Yeah. And for that goal, it was actually Ura got the assist and Damiani got the second assist.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it was just so great to see Jean-Jacques score. He looked ecstatic running to the sideline.
It was very cute because he was ran over and looked very serious, arms crossed and everything, and then he just broke into this big grin, was blowing kisses to everyone.
That's right, he was blowing kisses.
I was just like, I like the juxtaposition here at the two. So
little bit of his personality coming out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But good on him to keep making that run. Yeah. It's one of those things that coaches always want their players to do. Made the passes, made the runs, got a ball back, and just when he had the opportunity, being 14, 15 yards out, took the shot. And Guzan let it happen. Thanks, Brad. Check's in the mail.
Yep. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a great, lovely, smooth, stylish, everything you want on a goal,
51st minute?
That was the 50th minute, 50th, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, the good feelings didn't last for too long because I think we got to talk about this. So Lukic gets a second yellow card,
Yep.
and Christy and I have watched this replay
I'm going to need you guys to
several times.
describe. I'm going to have to need you to describe what happened because Nate and I were getting ice cream at the time. And there was no television
What?
showing the game near where we were because the line was so long.
Oh, okay.
Honestly,
I'll allow it.
let's pull the video up, Paul. You need to see this.
Foul on Moranchuk. Cleek wanted the quicker restart, and another yellow card out of the pocket of Alan Chapman. Who has he booked here? Yes, he has booked Lukic, his second yellow, and now a turn in favor of Atlanta United.
Responsible. Keep his head. He's already on a yellow card. And then right here, just back up. You know when you're on the yellow card, you're up to...
Stupid.
But that was the foul, and I'm a bad Philly fan or whatever. Where like I'm more than half the times when a ref calls a foul, I'm probably sitting there going like, yeah, he's probably right. He's, But I saw this and like the only thing I can think of, right? So the foul, the guy gets knocked down. The Atlanta guy, he immediately stops the ball. One of the other teammates sets it up to take a quick, free kick. And Lukic just kind of comes and stands there right by the ball, very close. Right? Not, and I get that. You got to move away. But the other player kicks it into Lukic, and next he's getting this yellow card. I'm like, to me, if that was the very first offense that a player did in the game, it's like, dude, come on, back away from the ball, reset the free kick. He's interrupting the flow of play and all that. I get it. But the only thing I can think of is because he's got the yellow card. Is the rule for refereeing is like if you have a yellow card, does it not matter? And I know the answer is no, but like, does it not matter then if you commit any foul going forward, you're just going to get that next yellow card? And that's what it felt like. I don't know. To me, that was not a yellow card. To me, that was not a yellow card.
Well,
I open up
apparently
the
you're
floor.
wrong.
What did you say?
I said, apparently you're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't remember the rules. I would have to look up IFAB and download their thing. But yeah, it is a delay of game offense, which is yellow cardable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems very late. I think if he had been moving backwards at all when the kick was taken, he might have avoided it.
Yeah, maybe
because he had just stopped moving. And yeah, I mean, the defender saw that as an opportunity and put it into Lukic and trusted that the referee was going to call him for the foul. And they saw it as a chance to get rid of him with a red card.
Yeah.
It was dumb. It was dumb.
Yeah.
It was dumb on whose part when you say that?
Lukic's part.
Okay.
Like, it's at midfield. Even if they played it fast, your team still had space and time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get why he did it. It was just not the right decision at that time by that player. If it was Damiani or somebody like that, okay, you get a yellow card. That's the first of the game for you. Okay, that's fine. You slowed down to play, but Lukic, you need to get back. Just keep going. I'm sure Bradley will have some words for him.
I think he got a pat on the back actually when he came off the field from Carnell, but
Good.
I mean, I don't think it was a great job, son, I'm proud of you pat on the back,
Not necessarily.
but it was like
it wasn't a shot.
let's not worry just yet, kind of a pat. But worrying, at least, here we are, 2 goals, and now it's the 50-somethingth minute, and now we go down a man, and when it's your team that goes down the man, that phrase of, one of 2 things happens, right? They start playing better or start playing worse. It's not very comforting. But I was very happy that we took the latter option. And,
it does look like they did adjust things a bit. They pulled Aura in the 62nd minute. So for Macania, and they went to a 5-3-1.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely felt like they were pulling back on the attack to bolster the defense.
And you could definitely see that in the game. Like, I mean, it totally completely shifted to all the Union side of the field for quite a while.
Yeah.
But they did a good job neutralizing Atlanta's gifted players, Almiron and Moranchuk and Latelaf.
Yeah.
They just, anytime they came close to one of them, somebody was in the way. I mean, Almiron had one shot from outside the box in the first half. And when I saw he was on the field, I was going to point him out the Nate and be like, "Hey, watch it! And if he gets within 30 yards, he's going to be shooting."
Yeah.
And sure enough, he did that in the first half. But after that, he really was almost a non-factor. And it was interesting too, watching the play, in that the Union didn't man mark him. They kind of did this floating zone kind of marking around Almiron. So there was always a Union player within 5 yards of him, but it was a different Union player. It might have been Lukic, it might have been Danley, it might have been Quinn, it might have been Vasilev. Wherever Almiron went, there was a Union player close to him to close him down if the ball came near him, but they didn't man mark him out of the game. Which was, it seemed to work. It definitely frustrated Almiron. Almiron was tracing way back just to get his foot on the ball, and even then he couldn't do anything with it, which, good on the Union's game plan for making that happen.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that Almiron was back from the Premier League. I knew he was over there with Newcastle. And then when I saw the lineup, at the beginning of the game, I'm like, hold on. I had to hop on the internets to see. And I guess he's back from Newcastle. This is his first year back. Which again made me a little worrisome at the beginning of the game that he was back, because he's a good player.
I don't remember the numbers, but the Free Kick podcast pointed out that Atlanta spent as much, I want to say, for Moranchuk, for Almiron, and for one of their other players, I can't remember which one, then more they spent close to $50 million or $32 million on those three players, which was more than the Union have spent in total in their 10 years or so for players. But it didn't help them.
No. And I agree with you, Paul. The Union did a good job at kind of disarming Almiron. He was, definitely active, but, as a whole game performance, not an overt threat. I mean, Lot was more of a threat than Almiron was.
So they made that change. It looks like shortly after Lukic's red card in this, like I said, in the 62nd minute. Obviously, the game shifted into the Union's half of the field.
Was that when the player came on with a literal note in his hand?
Yeah, that's right. We saw.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
he handed a slip of paper. Go ahead, Chrissy.
I forgive me. I don't have the players' names down from Atlanta, but literal note for one of the players who was already on the field and handed it to him. I mean, you see the whispering in the ear. We saw that I think last week or the week before with Ali and Indy, but it was just kind of funny to see because you were making jokes about it.
Do you like me? Yes or no?
But yeah, I've not seen that before, so that was interesting. They were definitely trying to change their tactics on the fly as well.
Interesting. But they couldn't break down the Union's low block. They did a good job controlling it. I mean, there were a couple of touchy moments in there, and Blake definitely had a big save.
He had at least two huge saves. Huge. And on my notes, I wrote 65th minute, saved by Dre, right? And I think it was I forget which one it was. But then the second one, I just stopped. I just note the minute, and I just drew a picture of the goal and which way Blake was diving in order to knock the ball out. And that one was like just by his fingertips that he was able to just deflect that thing out.
Yeah, I just have Blake saves with a wide-eyed emoji in my notes because I mean they also got had the woodwork on our side a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
think the woodwork was playing for both teams there, right? Just as or
Well, yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, thank God for him. He
Mhm.
truly is the backbone.
Yeah.
And then the dagger would come in the
Yeah.
84th minute. There was a ball played long. I think it was from Wagner. And for whatever reason, Atlanta players thought it was going to roll out of bounds, but Quinn, 84 minutes into a game, playing down a man for the last 30 minutes, he somehow makes the run,
Hmm.
keeps the ball in play, makes a cross, and Baribo somehow sheds the defenders, finds the space between the two of them, and has a beautiful deflected header into the far
Yeah,
post
man.
for the third Union goal, which would give it was Baribo's seventh so far on the
Hmm.
year, which
Yep.
once again puts him at the top of
Uh-huh.
the Golden Boot count. It
Yep.
gives Quinn his, he gets a goal early on. He gets an assist in
Yeah.
this one, which puts him at 5 for the season.
Yeah.
I believe he's now ahead of Wagner on the team, and he's like
Hmm.
third in MLS or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was cool because he did a great job all day game. He played the 84 minutes. Helped score that last goal. They all celebrate, and then the referee comes down, and you see him talk to Sullivan, and Sullivan's like looks around and goes, he kind of walks off the end line, and that was his last play of the game as he got subbed off
Yeah.
for who was that?
Bedoya came in
But
Yeah.
yeah.
and Vasilev came out too, and Raffanello came in.
Yeah, it looks like they freshened the midfield for the last push
Mhm.
of the game. So good on
So
Quinn.
can we call that a Taekwondo go? Like Taekwondo?
Oh, yeah.
It's better when you have to explain it.
It's respectable.
I was working on that one. Not quite a Kai Tai, is it? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So it was great. It was great seeing Baribo find that space. Great
Mhm.
seeing Quinn get his head up and find the run. And then
great
Bedoya and
game.
Raffanella just did a great job
Yeah.
locking it down in the midfield and giving some spark up top. So Baribo, Raffanello, Bedoya definitely did a great job seeing the game out.
Yeah.
I mean, Quinn had quite a game, and he's obviously starting to make a name for himself. And I mean, continuing to, I guess, seeing him pop up more and more in like MLS promotional
Mhm.
materials
Yep.
Mhm.
and things like that. And it's kind of great because I have absolutely nothing against his brother, but I was a little worried he might be eclipsed. And it
Yeah.
could still happen, but I think he is working hard to make sure that his name is known as well, and I like to see it. So,
I almost wonder, like, when Gajah got traded or got sold, obviously that he was the attacking midfield partner with Sullivan, and so I wonder if Sullivan felt like, all right, well now everything's on me because until Vasilev gets his feet under him, it's all going to have to go through me. So those, I guess, the one game in New York, like it felt like he was trying to push the game, trying to push this game. This game, one of the things that struck me about his play was he let the game come to him. Like he didn't do too much. He didn't force things that weren't there. He waited for an opportunity and then made the most of it. Like the goal, like the assist. There were a couple of other opportunities where he got the ball upfield, where he was just making good connections with the rest of his teammates. And those connections then spread the game around a bit, and the Atlanta players couldn't target him directly. I think as such, he ended up seeming to find more space, and the game seemed to flow with him. Now, he's still, I don't know that he's a total focal point, but I definitely think this was a big step forward for him as an end game play.
Yeah. 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 This I think his performance in this game just showed what a workhorse he is. He's just gonna run the full 90. He's gonna pressure the full 90. Oh, and the heat map. That
and
was
the distance too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they always show like a featured player and they have that little heat map graphic of the little dots of various sizes of where they are on the field and all that. No joke. This is the first time I've ever seen this. They showed the heat map for Quinn, and it was pretty much the
All but the
entire
strip.
field. had at least a tip on it of some
Of
size.
some size. Yeah, the bottom like quarter was maybe the slimmest
Yeah.
or the least populous, I should say, but yeah, it was everywhere. Never seen that before in
And
the
I
history
don't
of that
rem
graphic.
I don't remember the distance, but I gotta imagine it was just like,
7, 8 miles.
most
Well, it was
people probably.
very early in the game, and he had run the most at 2.4. I think the next one was 2.2 miles for one of the Atlanta players. Not I don't remember now who, but it was not that was not at the end of the game by any stretch. So yeah, he was hauling as usual.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I
So
don't know. It was funny because you guys seemed to maybe this was me projecting, but I felt a little more uncertain about them at the beginning of the game, just because I think coming into it with where we had been the last couple
Yeah.
games, maybe that was on my mind. We did get the goal relatively early, 27th minute, but I felt like that was great and all, but it didn't convince me of anything. So, um, second goal was where I thought they started to pull together, and then when losing Lukic, and that really seemed to galvanize them, I thought. More, the whole one of two things, right? In
Yep.
our case, luckily, it really did seem to galvanize us
Yeah.
or them. And I'm really hoping that going forward, now the loss of Gazdag looms slightly less large,
Yeah.
and they get back to having fun, like Paul always says, because they have not looked like they have been having fun for quite
Yeah.
a while now. What quite a while in relative terms, but beginning of the season they started off, like fresh new school year. My books still smell good.
Trapper keepers for everybody.
Yeah, but definitely like a slump had set in for various
Yeah.
reasons, and I'm hoping that there'll be some momentum from this that will carry them forward. So
Well, thinking back to what you got last week's episode, we talked about what do you want to see in this game. Well, I don't remember exactly what you guys wanted, but were boxes checked for you guys or?
Yeah. I mean, what I said, I wanted to see more goals. I wanted to see a multi-goal game.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see Baribo get back on the front foot, and
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
It was good to see.
Christy, do you remember what
I
yours was?
honestly, nope, don't remember what I said. Oh, it's been a week already. It's only
Yeah.
Tuesday night as we record. But yeah, no. So I was very happy and a little surprised. I mean, I know that on paper we should have done well, but on paper means very little.
Yeah.
Especially we're not early in the season anymore, but it's still a little early, so
Yeah.
there's still a lot of movement possible, and so I wasn't taking anything for granted. But yeah, I was very pleased with this, and it gave me hope because I really, after losing Gazdag and seeing what happened in that first game, it really felt like, okay, they've kind of pulled a key piece out here, if not formationally, then psychologically, perhaps, just knowing that he was there, whether he playing or on the bench. And it felt that way to me. Again, I'm not going to say I'm projecting. I think that there's truth to that. And it just felt like they realize they can do stuff without him. And that it's a different team now, and they're figuring out what that means. Does it hurt that Atlanta's in 12th place, is it? Where are they now? They were in 11th, now they're in 12th, I guess. I don't know.
That's right.
So probably not. But if that's who they needed to play to start getting that momentum going again,
Yeah.
I have no issue with it.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, a serious player who had been in Premier League, although I suppose coming back from Premier League could mean one of two things, just like going down a man can.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So I don't remember exactly what I said, but I'm pleased with what happened in actuality.
Yeah.
So.
No,
I would also like to say really quickly, and I did put this on our socials, that we're also very pleased with the choice we made in watching the coverage. So obviously we were watching from home. We had scoops here for the holiday, and uh, she actually does a homebrew version of what Apple offers. She prefers to listen to the radio because that's what she's used to, the radio, and by that I mean through an other electronic device. But she has it all timed out so she can watch it on TV, and because she doesn't
Listen.
have Apple, she can't get the alternative. I don't think she can get the alternative soundtrack, so she just times it with her tablet and listens to, yeah, she's got it all down. She's got it all organized. So we just turned it on Apple so that we could listen to the local radio coverage, and it's leaps and bounds better because obviously they're rooting for the Union, so you kind of have those two friends in the booth
Right,
who are
right.
there with you. So that's kind of nice. But just my mom has been singing Dave Leno's praises for a while now.
The Leno lady.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, especially like last year with the raccoon, like she was sending me the call, like she just couldn't get over it. And yeah, so he really is just the I don't know how he does it. I really don't know how he slips in all the factoids and stuff that he does and still covers the game and descriptors and continues to cover the game. So, and Lutu is Lutu. I mean, always good to hear him as well, but it's just it was a nice return to watching it on Channel 17 or Channel 6 or whatever, that kind of thing. But in some ways I enjoyed it even more. So that was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that. But I mean, the option's been available, I think, potentially since the beginning, but it was just one we usually didn't bother to take advantage of. So highly recommended.
Yeah, going forward, that's how I'm going to listen to the games or watch the games.
As long as they're home games, of course.
The thing is, you have to do it live. You can't do it replay. They don't keep
they don't keep it for replay.
Apple TV does not keep the Homer replay audio. So that means we just have to watch it live.
Yeah.
Well, after the game, Danley was selected by the Sons of Ben to bang the drum for the first goal, and it's always nice when a defensive midfielder gets recognized for their performance in a game.
Yeah, well done.
I was a little surprised, I'll be honest, that they didn't pick Quinn Sullivan, but he'll take solace in the fact that MLS recognized him and named Quinn Sullivan to Team of the Match Day for his one goal and one assist performance. So a couple of nice little recognitions for the players, which was cool.
I always feel like you had to go Danley just because it was his first goal.
Yeah.
So celebrate it that way.
And apparently this was also Blake's 100th clean sheet.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, we knew he was good. Numbers don't hurt anything.
Nope.
So
I have no idea.
Accomplishment. I wonder how many keepers in MLS have ever gotten to 100 clean sheets.
Yeah, I was wondering what the stats are on that.
No, Christy's grabbed. It looks like she's looking something up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we can pull that up. That's an amazing stat for Blake in his career.
Yeah, and then one other little tidbit is that the Union's currently in 5th place. There's all the various stats and according to their position in the table, but I thought it was interesting that the Union currently has the 3rd highest goal differential in the league, and that's behind Charlotte, who's in 1st in the Eastern Conference with their 9 goal differential, and Vancouver in the West, who's in 1st with their 11 goal differential. So,
what is the Union's goal differential?
Our goal differential is 7, I believe. I did not write that down, but I think it's 7. So I mean, it's we're in 5th place, but as we've kind of pointed out, it is packed really tight in those first 5 team slots there, and having a big goal differential will hopefully implies a good scoring and or good defensive strategy, and that tends to win games. So hopefully that's a good indicator, having that big goal differential.
Big goal
Also,
differential. Always a good idea.
yeah, big goal differential energy.
So you want a quick impromptu trivia game here?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sounds perfectly natural. So 3 MLS goalkeepers besides Blake
have
have
100 clean
reached
sheets.
at least 100 clean sheets, career clean sheets.
You want us to guess who we think it
I
might
do
be?
indeed. I would say that you will get, you have the possibility of getting 2 of them. The third one will be harder.
So we're trying
All
to
right.
guess 3 other goalkeepers that have done it.
Correct.
Because they have to play in MLS for a long time.
Yes.
And technically, this was Blake's 100th shutout for the Union in total, not just MLS games. But I think you're probably looking at a similar stat like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just thinking about that, keepers that have played in the MLS for a long time, they've been solid for a very long time. Is Tony Miola on that list?
No, sir.
Okay. Then the other one that would come to mind would be Nick Raimondo.
Yes.
I would say Nick Raimondo.
Okay.
That is one.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going through other, like Zach Thornton has been in this league for a long time.
So I have a guess. Is Casey Keller one of them?
No.
Then I have one in my back pocket. I want to see, not Pat Onstad. Okay.
Not hockey hair Pat Onson.
Yeah.
Hockey hair Onstad. Oh man.
So
Sean Johnson. Okay, I didn't think he'd been around that long.
Sorry. It's an audio medium. I should say no.
Yes.
Yes. So we got Nick Raimondo. That's one. We still got 2 more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Brad Friedel. I don't
who was
think
the
it's
kid
Brad
from the Red Bulls who did that crazy set piece shot that went into the net? It was against Columbus Crew in New York. Danny Sapero.
No, I think you just love that.
I love that goal.
That goal.
Even for being a Red Bulls, but it's just like the look on his face is absolutely priceless.
I do think that one of these I'm gonna guess you wouldn't get.
I have one guess here.
All right.
Matt Reese?
No.
Oh, okay.
Good
Hold on.
guess.
I'm trying to think of other long-term successful goalkeepers in this league. I'm kind of blanking.
Is this person from Kansas City?
Oh, don't ask me that.
Okay, hold on.
No, I don't think so.
Are any of them still playing?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay. All right.
Let me check that. Oh, wait.
Who was Seattle's goalkeeper?
One of them, I think, is potentially
Still playing. Well, Casey Keller played for a long time for Seattle.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
I'm just driving around the country here in my head. So I'm trying to remember. LA.
One is definitely not still playing. The
Okay.
other one is still playing. Okay. Who knew?
John McCarthy, Matt Freeze.
You're gonna kick yourself for this one, I feel like. But
Well, hold on.
Zach McMath?
no.
Okay. Just making sure it's not an actual goalkeeper.
And not Chris
Sites.
Seitz.
No.
Okay. So okay.
No, you're not gonna kick yourself that hard.
Okay.
Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah,
Hold on.
go ahead. Tell us the one that we wouldn't get first, and then
All
we
right.
can feel bad about the one we should have gotten.
Kevin Hartman.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. He
LA
played.
Galaxy.
Sure. Or was he the Kansas City guy?
Who?
Hartman.
I don't know if he switched around. I'm seeing FC Dallas, but I don't know if he was on other teams.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know him.
He always
Okay.
struck me as he could have been one of like the posse guys from Johnny's and Karate Kid. That's the way
Yes.
it kind of,
You're right. Oh my God.
That
What's the
blonde
guy?
hair.
Dutch?
Because I just
Dutch?
looked at the picture. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know this guy, but you're absolutely right. Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's also
Stefan Fry.
okay.
Oh,
I don't
sure.
feel too bad about that.
You don't?
I
Okay.
mean, I should have gotten it, but I
He's the
don't.
one who's still,
He's still
And
playing.
who's he
Right?
playing for now?
Is he still
I
with?
believe Sounders, right? Is that
Yeah, I
wrong?
was right. I was trying to get the Sounder keeper.
Oh.
Yeah.
That might have been the one I was thinking of, but
My
double
Casey
check
Keller
myself.
guess threw off the scent, I guess, accidentally.
Yeah,
well,
Sounders.
I might not have remembered Stefan Fry
Yeah.
either way. So good on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy. That's quite a milestone, hitting a century of shutouts.
Yeah,
For what
that
it's
is.
worth, Nicky Raimondo way out in front with 154.
That dude, he's just.
And he was as far as goalkeepers going, he's not that big. He's like 5'10".
He might have been the shortest out of that list of.
No, but he is solid like a wall. So there's that.
He is. And apparently he can leap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, so
Anyway.
Union versus DC at home this Saturday for Kids Day down there at the Union game.
4:30 start, I guess, also for Kids
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
It's the weather. Hopefully, the weather is looking good. Should be a real nice outing. We got DC's coming in, even lower ranked than Atlanta. So hopefully, this is another 3 points we can earn here.
They only have 3 losses, just as many as the Union, though. They have a lot of draws.
Yeah, a lot of draws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will not have Lukic,
Nope.
which is non-trivial. But I mean, if there's anything Saturday's game taught us is that, well, we should be able to at least get one goal if Lukic isn't on the field.
I wonder how well the United fans will travel with the team not doing well, because it can get loud in there when there's a relatively local team that comes to visit and brings a bus or two of fans.
Yeah.
And DC has been a good traveling team for a while. They have brought pretty decent crowds to the Union Stadium.
Yep.
But they haven't been very good the last few years. So I kind of expect it'll be a lesser turnout than some other years might have been.
So what are you guys looking for in this game?
Another Union win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see them continue multiple goals scored in the game too.
Yeah.
Same.
I
I was busy looking up who the head coach was for DC United.
It's Benteke.
Yeah. It's Benteke's DC United.
It's Benteke's DC United.
Yeah. Troy Lesesny.
Oh, okay.
Do we know him?
Lesane. Troy Lesane, is that it?
Lesane? Okay, thank you for correcting me. It did not look like that, but there you go, Lesane. Sounds much nicer.
Him, I think he was also coach of the Red Bulls for a bit. And if it is the same guy, there was a mix-up on the Union sideline for one of the games when he was in town, and it got pretty physical for a bit. So I wonder if they'll bring some animosity, bring a little heat, and maybe a little extra something on the side.
Yeah, I was an assistant coach for the Red Bulls starting in 2022. So yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm this past week, the past week's game against Atlanta, for me, like we had to get that win. And that big 3-0 win, even down a man, was I think a good shot to the arm. So yeah, I'd like to see the win this week. If we don't get the win,
Definitely not a loss.
yeah, definitely not a loss. We
Right.
should at least draw this thing. I'd like to see Benteke shut down, because that guy is just he's always lethal. Like you can never ever count this guy out. Like he will find a goal. Like you just have to keep him away as best you can.
Benteke finds a way.
Exactly. But I'd also like to see. So I was happy with Indy's performances last game. I could sense he was hustling. I think what I would like to see is some more direct fruits of his work.
Mhm.
Whether or not he nets himself a goal or just kind of like how Aura absolutely fed Jean-Jacques that goal, like just sublime support and passing. I'd like to see something from Indy in this game, especially
I just
since now
remembered
he's
what I said
starting.
last week, and that was I'd like to see more from Indy in last week's game.
Yeah.
So and I agree. I'm kind of still waiting.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if Indy wouldn't be better off in that defensive midfield spot next to Danley, and then have Raffanello start this game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Choo Choo,
Oh
Jesus
yeah.
Bueno get a start, but at the same point, like he was not brought in when the Union were down and wanted to switch to a 5-3-1. He didn't put
Good
Bueno
point.
on the field. He put Raffanello on the field.
Yeah, good
Um,
point.
and I don't think he's going to use Bedoya in a start, although it's possible. So I think it might be neat to see Raffanello get a start, maybe with a late sub on for Bedoya, and then Indy go in as a defensive midfielder. I think having more of the game in front of him might be an interesting look for Indy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
definitely agree. I would love to see more from Indy.
yeah.
So while we're looking forward to the Union game against DC coming up this weekend and hopeful for a positive result for the Union, just as a little update for those who might be applying to help volunteer at the FIFA World Cup or FIFA Club World Cup this summer around Philadelphia. They are still looking for people. I think it's like FIFA.volunteer.com or volunteer.fifa.com. You can do a search and you should be able to find a way to register if you're still interested in helping out. But I did get notice today that I've been offered a role with the volunteer group down there. So I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share and what I'm not allowed to share. I'm just going to say yes, I did get offered a role, and yes, I did accept it.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to helping out down there, and I don't want to put any of that at risk. I don't think that they care. They may not even know that I'm doing this podcast, but just in case,
Yeah.
as things officially get rolled out, maybe once I have a training session, I'll be more willing to say, yeah, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about it. But it is kind of neat. Again, the volunteering is for the 8 game days down at the link. And so, yeah, it should be fun. It should be a good time. Looking forward to it. But yeah, just as a reminder, if you're at all interested in helping out with the FIFA Club World Cup this summer, definitely get your volunteer forms in, so as they are starting to roll out offers as to who's going to do what down there. There's lots of different options, and I will say that they said that the two, what was it? The one was on-field support or some sort of like a ceremony volunteers, basically the people that help carry the flags and the field decorations. That was one of the areas that they were looking for help on. So if you're interested in helping and you're not sure what areas that you might want to get involved in, that if you put that at least as your third option, you might get picked. So just some advice.
So I'm not asking what it is, but did they tell you what your role would be if you accept?
Not the exact role, but they have like task areas or
Okay.
something like that. I forget. There's like 16 or 17 or something like that they have, and you're supposed to rank your top 3 where you want to be in there. And I can't remember exactly what I ranked this one, but I think it might have been my first choice, and they gave it to me.
Oh, so you got your first choice.
I have to double check that, but I do think that was my first choice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Cool. Yeah. Well, you'll have to tell us. What 8 days are you kind of flagged on then to be?
There's 8 games in Philadelphia.
Oh, 8 game days.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, functional areas. This was my first choice functional area. And so yeah, for the 8 games that are occurring in Philadelphia, looks like I will be involved.
Nice. That's awesome. We'll have to you have to give us your experience of what it's like down there.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
I did notice there have been shots on social media lately of Infantino wandering around Philly. I was at Gino's, I think.
Yeah, and there was one with him and Bedoya, if I remember right.
Yes, that's
wow.
true too. Yeah. I think
Oh man, how awesome would that be to get to meet Bedoya as a volunteer?
Get to lord it over us for all time.
Yeah.
If you ever want to get on a podcast,
All right, well, that's gonna be really cool. Look forward to hearing all about this. Okay, well, if you want to jump in on our conversation, or you want to throw out anything you might want us to answer or talk about next week on our 100th episode, feel free to reach out to us. You can find us at our website, amorephillyunion.com. Send us comments, questions, whatever you like via email or on our socials, especially Instagram. And we'll be happy to talk them out on the pod. You can email us at pod@amorephillyunion.com. On Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and Bluesky, we are a More Philly Union. I don't know. Maybe you got I don't know, need some music in the background while you're working. Hey, why don't you go check out our Spotify playlist under a More Philly Union? Just look for those little music notes. So download, subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. And while you're at it, go show some love to one of our favorite forces for good in the world, the Philadelphia Union Foundation. Check them out at philadelphiaunionfoundation.org. So thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of A More Philly Union. We are your hosts. I'm E.
I'm C.
And I'm Paul. Go Union! Next up on a very special episode of More Philly Union.
Whose soccer ball is this?
I learned it by watching you.
I found these shin guards in your book bag.
I quit.